Nobody looks at the link. Nobody is tracking the root of what the fuck is going on. We getting right into it. All right, hear me out. The CEO, right? And this, like, just think about this in anger and so many forms and why people do things that they do, right? So, jobs, they're levels for a reason, right? And when you're at the lowest level, you gotta hear the shit and you gotta deal with the shit that nobody wants to deal with. That's why your level is there, so that you gotta deal with some shit. So they don't gotta deal with some shit. I'm gonna give you an example. All right, let's compare. Let's say Popeye's chicken sandwich. That might be racial and black. First thing I said is Popeye's. Yeah. Okay, Popeye's chicken sandwich, right? Now, the CEO of the chicken sandwich is they're losing money, right? It's not a real thing. I'm just making this up. The CEO of the McChicken, the chicken sandwich, they're losing money. The CEO made the decision, right? Whoever made the decision at the top. Now, the people in poorer communities in the hood, right? In the hood, you got people that are gonna they have low emotional intelligence. They get ignorant extremely fast, and the people who work in the hoods, they now have to receive the feedback from the angry customers about the chicken sandwich being removed. Now they're gonna come in. Now they're gonna fight these people. And the person who made that decision is untouched. The person who made the decision is not being spoken to. They can't get in contact with. And all of these things is just so fucked up because that's life. That's life, and life is levels. And even when it comes down to working and shit, right? And you got how people, right? To shout out the working class, you got people who don't know how to deal with people, right? And they're in a higher position than you. They deal with people, and then they send you, and you might be the better half of who you work with. Who knows? You might be, and now you got to deal with the energy that somebody in a higher position than you set. They set the tone. You get what I'm saying? And it's like you got to deal with shit because that's your position. Really looking at the head of the snake, like like it just is not something you would think is common. I thought it was common until I really like started to think about it. And you have to work your way out of these positions. Like if you don't work yourself out of this position, it doesn't mean you have to like this is content creation. I plan to do this and still have a 9 to 5. I plan to get into radiation tech. That's a whole other thing. I plan to do this, but the goal is not fuck a job forever. The goal is get out of a job that's making you do some shit that your heart don't align with. I'm sorry, I'm burping internally. Your heart don't align with it, and you have to take shit. There's other positions where you always gotta take shit, but there's better levels of taking shit. You get what I'm saying? Like there's a higher level of being okay and doing something where you're not being treated like shit for something that somebody else did or something that somebody else said. And it's about your mental health and keeping your mental health while you're carrying out providing for your family, health insurance, all that shit. Um, but really it goes deeper than work, to be honest. For me it goes deeper in we feel something. Cause sounds so childish. We feel something. Why do we feel something? If we don't know what we feel, write it down. Write down what you feel about what you don't know why you're feeling it. And those emotions is just like emotions are indicators, right? And this I'm going on a wild roller coaster, but using the little that you have to figure out what it is, what's going on, what's wrong. And there's so much wrong. There's so much wrong that like we could always figure it out, and just staying active, proactive, staying proactive, and really figuring out what's the head of the snake, what's the head of what we're fighting. Don't look at the person in front of you. Don't look at the person in the middle. Look at the person at the top. Look at the head of the whole, whatever it is, and don't blame people and don't treat people like shit when customer service. Oh, let's get into that. Customer service. Yo, I've seen people treat people in customer service like shit about something that got to do with Apple. I was on a Sephora line And there was this girl. She calling. She on the phone. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? And this shit happened at Bay Plaza. So, yo, she's really blacking. Yo, why Apple do this? Why they do that? I'm like, yo, she's dead ass. She's dead ass. But like, I was kind of disgusted. Like, I couldn't believe that she was talking like that to somebody that's just on the phone, Like, it's their job, but she didn't create Apple. She's not Steve Jobs, nigga. Like, and people really, they really treat people like shit, especially when it has nothing to do. They're just in a job. And when somebody tells you something in a position, you could get mad. You could take it up a higher level. How do I say it? There's a different way to be assertive, and then when you're completely pissed off. But people think they could play bad cop and get whatever the fuck you want and talk to whoever you want like that. And that shit is nasty, bro. I ain't even gonna lie. That shit not it. But we have to escape these people. We have to do what we do. See who you're around. I feel like it's so important to see who you're around. See who treats people like what. It gives you a better insight at life. Like, we do learn from dummies. We do. And my OG told me this, and I love it. Shout out Al, man, my guy. And yeah, I love that he said that we learn from dummies, and it's not that we're better than anybody, but people that are dumb. When you see somebody make a dumb decision, normally people are like, oh, you can't learn from people that are, like, that literally, like, say they're not thinking, like, they're not trying to put no thought into it, then they're just dumb, right? That's what they're doing. If you think you can't learn from them, you're wrong. Because we can even learn from people who are just dumb as shit because they keep repeating the same shit over and over and over. And obviously it goes down to, like, there's a reason for everything. So I'm not going to sit here and just be like, that's what they are. But they don't even know about the psychological part. Some people, like I said this before, some people are so far gone. They're not aware of any of that shit. So they're going to keep doing it. So yes, you're going to be name called for you not changing what the fuck is wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm sorry, but I'm not. Look at the link to things, not just the face. When you're looking at the face, you're not really seeing what's behind the face. Just look at what made, and life will be, you won't get mad at things like that as easily. You will get mad. I won't say you won't get mad. You won't get mad as easily. And really just being aware of the levels. There's really levels to this shit, bro. There's levels to this shit. And it's a whole game. But, like, you got to play it. If you hear, I know it sucks. Niggas created this. You got to pay bills. You got to do what you got to do. Everybody need money. Everybody is owed money. And it's like, these are the things you got to go through. These are the things you have to witness. You have to experience. I feel like you don't really get an understanding of it until you experience it. Once you experience it, then you can see how fucked up things really are in the system, in the game, and the da-da-da. But it's all a game. It doesn't matter what level you're at. The high level, if you're at a higher level, you got to play a bigger game with people who are willing to do more crazy things than you. If you got $1 million, somebody got 10 mil. You got to figure out how to get 10 mil. If you got a K, somebody got 5K. You got to figure out how to get 5K. Like, you just got to struggle. You got to struggle. Nobody escapes the game. Nobody escapes the race. Nobody escapes it. Everybody has to work. So I feel like with this mindset and just talking about this, just understand what you're dealing with, whoever you be dealing with, is not what you're looking at. And escape the levels of being that barrier. Everybody got to be that level. Ain't nobody just come in. Some people come in at the top, but you got to be the person that takes shit for somebody at some point in your life. That's just what has to happen in order for you to get it, So look at the face of everything. This video is all over the place. I ain't even gonna lie. I'm sorry, but I'm not. Look at the face and don't just be yelling at people when they're just the person working there. You ever heard somebody say, "I'm just working here, bro"? Like they don't even care themselves. They're just working there. Don't treat them like shit, bro. I love y'all. It's been a good one. I think this is a short one. I appreciate it. Sorry. I feel like the video is a good video. Maybe not. I don't know. I love y'all. Thank you.
but